It's happening, tin pail hula hoops. I'm fucking absolutely knackered, if I'm being honest. I get back from my class about back in 9, and I'm shattered. It was a good shift. It was breaking me in lightly, obviously, because it's only the second session at karate since I went. Because obviously it stops for the summer holidays and it stops for the Christmas period. But I had stopped going round about May. I was just having issues and that, and but I'm back and I really enjoyed it. I missed it, to be honest, and I got my money's worth out that pad. See the noise it makes when you fucking smash it with a kick, man. It just it makes me all warm and fuzzy inside. But that being said, I didn't go to my class this morning because it was fucking belting down, mate. I know it's only like a 25-minute walk down the road, but still, when it's like that, I'm just want to cocoon myself, know what I mean? But I'm going tomorrow, so all good, innit? Hope yous are all doing good in that as well. It's just good to see the channel growing and all the kind of the banter, the positive comments, and the the mature comments, and just general positivity, man, which we all think need merry in our lives. Nobody needs negativity, especially when you've lived a certain way for a long time. Do you know what I mean? But see, the subject that I want to talk about tonight is actually about corrupt prison officers, right? In one case in particular that was run about 2007, right, was a screw in Gateside Prison in Greenock. Now, I've never been there. I've never been in Gateside. But apparently, this was back in 2007. There was a task force set up, right? Don't know if any of you ever remember this, right? But see, before the formation of the National Crime Agency, there was a agency that was just relative to Scotland called the SCDEA, which stood for Scottish Crime Drug Enforcement Administration. Basically, it was an organised crime fucking task force like Scotland's FBI or that shit. Whereas the NCA, the National Crime Agency, covers like the whole of the UK, and it's obviously it's got global reach, you know what I mean? Whereas the SCDA was just Scottish, but it was disbanded. I can't mind what year. But they'd set up a task force with the Scottish Police and the Scottish Prison Service into corruption in prison, right? And obviously, when they're setting up an investigation like this, there's always a primary target. The main focus of the investigation. Now, I don't know who the main focus of the investigation was, but if I had to guess, I would say it wasn't a screw. But in saying that, it could have very well been that because there's good screws, there's bad screws, there's good people in prison, there's bad people in prison. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way of the world. And it could have well been that there was so much corruption in this jail, or corruption was that bad that there was a good screw who just got in touch with somebody and fucking basically raised the alarm with a whistleblower. Excuse me. And that was how maybe this investigation came to fruition. But anyway, one of the end results of this task force investigation was the arrest of a prison officer in Gateside prison called Ian Fisher, who everybody called Big Fish, right? Never knew him personally, but spoke to a few people about him, and what came back was actually pretty surprising. Heard that cons were getting drugs off him in the jail. So say you were a drug addict, right? And you were in this prison, like, and you had some way to get in with him, like, you could go down and ask him for shit, not like bait him up and all that, like what? Um, Heard he was doing all sorts of, he was bringing in all sorts of contraband, right? Phones, drugs, whatever. And the weird thing is that I heard that he also, so seeing Greenock Prison, I don't know if there still is, but there used to be a women's section, and I actually heard that he got one of the female cons pregnant. Like, fucking hell, how low can you sink? So he was arrested supplying a mobile phone to a prisoner for £200. But when he was captured, what he said was, when he was rumbled, he said something along the lines of, I was just, I was setting the con up. So basically, when he was captured, he made out that he was basically conducting a sting operation against another inmate. And it was got to wait till the money change and the phone changed hands before he raised the alarm. um, bit of kind of a weak defence, if you ask me. Do you know what I mean? Because when you've got people like task force looking at you, guys who are they're getting millions to run an investigation that's lasting years, mate, these people know every wee thing about your life. They would have known every move he made, listening to his phone calls probably, knew how many squares of bog roll that he used to wipe his arse, do you know what I mean? They're just, well, do you know what I mean? Just, you would go out his life with a fine tooth analytical comb, but what's ended up, he was arrested and charged, right, but he was bailed for court. Just shows you. But if that was me or you know what I mean, like, do not pass go, do not collect 200 quid, straight to jail, no bail, innit? Fuck's sake. But when he went to court, he was found not proven. So basically a not proven is different from a not guilty. A not guilty is basically the jury didn't think you committed that crime, but a not proven is like saying, well, I can take it two ways. It's like saying, we think he done it, but we don't think you proved your case, or we don't know if he done it, or he did, we couldn't make our minds up. Lucky to get away with that, so he was. Wonder what he's doing with his cell now, But this story made me think of a prison officer who approached me. And I'll not say what jail it is, and I'm not going to say the guy's name because I don't even know if he still works in the prison service, but he probably does, I don't know, right? But anyway, he came up to me one day and he said, what was it? Do you still talk to people outside? Now, when he said people outside, I knew he wasn't meaning my family. I knew he was meaning, like, the troops. And I'm intrigued right away, right? Now I'm like, where's this gone, right? He was actually alright, but a lot of the other screws didn't really hold him in high regard. But when I said aye, how, and he was saying Could I get something done for him? And I was like, like what? Because obviously I wouldn't commit to it like that. Know what I mean? You just need to find out everything, what kind of risk you're taking, is he legit, whatever. So he says to me, he wanted me to get this guy's motor torched and all this shit, right? Tyres done, motor blew up, attacked the guy who was driving it, all this piss, right? And I'm thinking straight away, like, this is... my first thought was, this guy was his daughter's boyfriend and he'd been lifting his horns to her. I don't even know if he had a daughter, but that was my first thought. And he'd actually... So I says to him, what's he done? Because I'm not going to lie, I didn't know whether to ask him what he done or no, but then I just thought, no, I need to ask him, do you know what I mean? You can't just... No saying I was going to do it, but anyway, he says, he shagged my wife, right? And I'm like, I couldn't believe he said that to me. See, if that was me, I probably just lied and said something like fucking... I don't know, I said something better than that, right? Fucking hell, I was actually shocked he said that, like, because to me, are you that angry about somebody having an affair with your wife, but you can't do nothing about it yourself? You can't get that angry where you would confront the guy on your own. You basically risked your fucking career even approaching me and having this conversation. I don't know if it was just pure stupidity, fuck knows what it was. Probably a bit of everything. And once he wrote it, I couldn't even believe that when he wrote this down, that he wrote this in his own handwriting. So the stupidity of this is next level, because anybody with any basic savvy would be like, copy this down. You wouldn't be leaving him with a bit of paper in your handwriting because it's incriminating you, innit? Fucking hell. So I says to him, obviously you're going to do something for me. And he's like, aye, so straight away, you know what I'm thinking? He's bringing in phones and drugs. And that's what I inferred when he said, like, aye, I'm inferring, right? So it's like tacit, it's like understood without being said, right? Because what else would a prisoner want off a male prison officer? Like, what else would you... know what I mean? It's like, aye. So, went and fought my cousin's boyfriend and all that and fucking blah blah blah, and was got to sort it out. And then I went and spoke to him, right? And what he says to me, I'll put £50 in your PPC, prisoner's private cash, like your jail spending account, 50 quid, right? And give you a jar of coffee. And I'm pure like, are you having a fucking laugh, man? A jar of coffee and 50 quid? The fucking young team wouldn't fucking smash him for that, fuck's sake. Or it was hilarious, right? But it gets worse. So he's approached, like, see, by the time I've even fucking told him whatever, he's went and approached two of my pals who didn't know he'd approached it. It was like just getting round different guys in the hall. I don't know if he'd spoke to anybody before me, but I know for a fact he definitely spoke to another two guys after he'd spoke to me, because one of them is a good pal of mine, and he was hitting him to bring him my phone, and he's like, I'm not bringing that phone in. I'm like, well, what fucking good are you, mate? Like, we could have hung him for that, but the sheer audacity, man, a fucking jar of coffee and 50 quid. Are you fucking kidding me, mate? Like, wow, man. But this is the funny thing, right? You might think, like, oh, Chris, you're a good guy and all that shit, but see, at the end of the day, see if I'm in prison, and it's anybody in prison, I think, if you have a way to get stuff in that can help, that can, like, ease the time, then it's almost your duty to do it. If you have a way and you've got the angle, you've got the in, whatever it is. I'm not saying I would never bring in things like lockbacks and all that shit, but see like if you were sitting doing heavy porridge and you knew a screw that would bring you in phones and drugs, then it's your duty, I think, to do it. It's I don't know. I wouldn't. I'm talking about things like, see, like a bit of puff and all that. No, like fucking all these mad dodgy things that are killing everybody. Like fuck all that. Talking about like back when I first went up to shots and that, it was all solid, and me and wee Jai were sitting up with fucking field building big sticks and sitting puffing in front of the screws, and they were not even saying it. And I don't even know if they could see it, but they weren't giving a fuck. Talking about sitting down buckets in cells and all that, and just sitting listening to 50 Cent and Eminem, pure blueturd, man, like howling it. See, watching, like fucking, you ever seen How High? Method Man and Redman, they go to uni and they're smoking weed and they're fucking having a pure giggle, man. That's the mad shit we were doing. That's what I'm talking about. No talking about bringing in bags of vowels and it's going to have everybody want to kill each other. Like, fuck that. I just, because it's just, anytime anything, see anything like Valimaret and see anytime Van comes into the jail, there's always stabbings, there's always fighting, there's always robberies, guys getting robbed for trainers, and then, oh shit, man, you just, the full hall's just, there's a different atmosphere in the hall. Um, it's just, it's not a place you want to be living in, but I'm just talking about like having a phone in so you can phone your missus, your wains, whatever. Not to like fucking do mad shit, like fucking terrorise people. No, I'm not for that. Do you know what I mean? And I know obviously there is people up, but like that's their business. That's not my business. Know what I mean? Um, but I think one of the, see, what I'm trying to get at is somebody who swears to uphold the laws of the land and all that, and then just becoming a pure liability, man. It's like a doctor that kills people or hurts people. It's like a dirty cop. To me, that's just the worst thing you could ever be, mate. Because you're the total antithesis of everything you purport yourself to be. A bit like a priest who's a fucking kiddie fiddler. Do you know what I mean? You're just the absolute scum of humanity, man. So that's what I was basically trying to get at. Because at the end of the day, you expect this kind of behaviour in prisons for prisoners trying to fucking get you to do their bidding, see how far they can push the boat out, do you know what I mean? But it's your job not to fall for it, because you're a paragon of virtue. No, well, maybe it sounds a bit condescending, and I didn't mean it that way. What I mean is, you're supposed to believe in your own code. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of screws out there that are fair, and they're no stupid, and they don't take shit, but they're fair. But the stupidity of this guy was absolutely dumbfounding, man. Like, a jar of coffee and a 15 note in your property. Like, fucking what? Just I slapped him just for saying that. Honestly, fuck, man. And do you know the weird thing is, right? You're gonna laugh at this, right? When I came out of jail, I had a box of my letters, right? And every year, see at Christmas or New Year, every year in jail, you get this wee booklet off the chaplain, and I wrote down the details and that. I think I still have that in my cupboard. Do you know that? It's fucking weird, isn't it? Fuck's sake. Scrap of paper for fucking 7 year ago or something, 8 year ago or something, whatever it was. Like what, man? Fucking mental, mate. And you see this all the time in orders, always see like wee birds getting into the jails, not and on. You're just like, man, what are you doing in here, mate? Just do yourself a favour and get the fuck in it. Setting yourself up for a fucking headache. The shame of that must be unbearable, I think, man. Like, what would your family think if you were like, oh, I've got a job in a prison, and then next thing you're splattered all the papers for fucking, know what I mean? Playing for the hula hoops, know what I mean? Piping, mate, fucking piping, man. But anyway, hope that was entertaining, because it certainly was entertaining reminiscing about that. But I will leave it there, and cheers for listening and all that anyway. It's actually 25 to 12 and I wasn't even planning on coming home, but because the house is quiet, my wee boy's in his bed, and I just thought I would come on and just fire a video out. So yous all take care, my pals, and I will see yous next time I'm back on. Good night.